What's up, everyone? So I'm here with what is going to be the start of a new series on this channel that's going to be called OCD. And it's a play on Obsessive Compulsive Disorder, but it's about Obsessive Compulsive Design. And me and my partner in crime, Dennis, are probably both guilty of having OCD, especially when it comes to the design of things that we use. So, half of what we like is stylish and out there, but the other half is just an obsessive attention to detail for functionality. And it might sound silly, but I think a great way to kind of open this up to give you an example of that is something as simple as the keychain. So we'll start, I guess, with this item that I bought here. So today I went shopping and I went into a store called Top Drawer in downtown Berkeley, and it said it was a place for the traveling nomad. And I was browsing around and I came across a section that had to do with key management. And they had this carabiner, and I sat there and I kind of looked at it, and I've got my McLaren key, and it's on a dispatch kind of key ring. And I really like this because what I do is I basically just hook this through my pant belt loop, and that's it. So it makes it really easy when I'm driving that car to make sure I have the key at all times. I don't have to take it out to do anything with it. So just hanging on my pants and knowing that they're going to be there and firmly attached is a great setup. So I'm always interested in different design elements that can kind of do the same functionality, and I came across this, and this is called, it's made by a company called A Shared Sense of Value. It says it's from Japan, and I really liked the way this looked from a design perspective, and it basically kind of fit the same purpose as the dispatch keyring that I already have, but it looks pretty cool to me. So, it's a different option that looks pretty nice. And one of the things about the design of this that made me okay with this, as opposed to just a traditional carabiner, is that it's got this other latch area. So, if these rings, if it was just a single carabiner, you'd have these kind of floating rings that the key would sit on. And when you go to attach it, usually it'd be fine. I mean, if you just let them sit at the bottom, but technically there's risk that they could pop out. With this setup that's got two separate latches, once the keys are in place at the bottom here, you can attach it to your belt loop and you don't have to worry. There's no risk of the keys coming off. So I think that's a really clever design. I think this looks really cool. And so I decided to pick this up. I can just attach it here so we can see what it would look like by comparison. And I think that's a pretty good setup. So I'm happy with that purchase. The other thing here I think is even cooler. So I've had this keychain, this Fox Racing keychain, key ring, for forever. And the last time it rained, it actually started to bleed. The color started to bleed onto other things that it was touching. And I knew it was time to really get rid of it. I mean, if you look close, it's seen better days. That's the thing. When I find something that works well, I tend to stick with it. But, a couple things about keys that can annoy me, and this is where the OCD comes in. If you put them in your pocket, they can scratch other things around them. They're also kind of bulky. So when I use this, I always, before I put it in my pocket, fold it up like that, and I tuck it into the bottom corner of my pocket so that they just kind of sit there. And then when I take them out at night, there's an issue when it's very dark as to which key you need to use to get into the house. And so I usually need to hit it with a flashlight from my phone to know which key I need to use. So all of these things can be a little bit obnoxious, but because I'm so OCD, I can't just go buy a replacement keyring. So that's where this product comes in. It's made by a company called Bellroy. And when I saw this, I knew I had found the perfect solution to all of my keyring problems. So the way that this works is basically a leather flap with a magnetic clasp. And in it, you have some sample keys, and they basically rotate like that. So the idea is when you're not using your keys, you close it, put that in your pocket, and when you need them, you can open it, flip the key out, and use it. And this solves a couple of the problems. So it solves the keys scratching other items because the keys are tucked away nicely inside. It solves the fumbling for the keys in the dark because I know if I put the key that I always use on top, I can fold that key out, and that's the one that I need to be able to use. So I think that's a fantastic setup and design, and completely solves all of the issues that I have with key management in one fell swoop. So I knew I had to buy it, and I went ahead and did, and I couldn't be happier with that setup. So let me actually attach this and just make sure it's going to work the way that I want it to. So put that through one of the holes in the key, and there's also this further attachment to secure it in place. It's kind of like a washer. And we pull that up, and that's it. It also has a loop here for potentially another attachment if you've got a car key or something that's too big. You can hook it on right there. But for what I need, that's pretty cool. So we'll be making more videos like this. I think one of the ones we have slated have to do with how we would configure making prescription glasses. But things like that, I mean, we really think through the usability of all of the various products that we have in our lives, things to make your life simpler. So if you are OCD like the two of us, stay tuned. I think it'll be cathartic to find other people who pay attention to minor details like we do. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.